We want to do, all right, so this is facing me, right? So,
Yeah, so you can turn it.
Turn it around. 'Cause I want to get the full experience of the startup. But Gene, just so you know, when this car came out in 1979, Car and Driver said that you need, if you want to sit in the back seat, you need a shoehorn to get in there. So it's a tight fit back there.
Yeah, that's why I want to get back out.
All right, Walter, why don't you go ahead and fire it up. Perfect. Thanks for checking out Cars, Shops, and Collections. I appreciate everyone that watches the show. If you have a suggestion or if you got a car you want us to feature, let us know in the comments below. If you haven't yet, subscribe. That goes a long way for us. So let's go back to the 1970s, okay? 1970s, the Pontiac Trans Am, sales were huge. But then when Smokey and the Bandit comes out in May of 1977, it's a whole new level. Sales exploded. So what we like to do is every May, which it's May right now, is to feature a different or special Trans Am. We don't got a Bandit Trans Am, but today, as you saw in the description or the little teaser there, we got a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am Solar Gold with a 400 under the hood. Now, Walter is the owner. He is around the corner, and we got a special guest over there with us too. So let's go see Walter and our special guest on this week's episode of Cars, Shops, and Collections. You see this, Gene? Holy cow. Walter, this is beautiful, man. 1979 Pontiac Trans Am, Solar Gold. Whoa, this has come a long way since the last time we saw it. How you doing, man? Nice to meet you, man. Nice to meet you, brother. Have you officially met Gene, my photographer here?
I have not.
Is this Gene?
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
All right, man, let's do this. This is gonna be good. This is gonna be so good. We need to do some introductions. First off, this is Walter. He's the owner of the 1979 Pontiac Trans Am Solar Gold. And this is our special guest. It is Ron Browne, as I call you, don't leave me hanging, Mr. Trans Am right here. Episode number 1
That's right.
was right here at your house.
That's right.
Episode number 83 was here as well.
Right. Yeah.
And here we are at episode, what, 113? Something like that. Something
yeah,
like this.
yeah,
This is huge.
yeah.
So I want to break down the 1979, but I think we should pull out your 1973 Trans Am, pull it out in the driveway, kind
Okay.
of just, it'd be a really cool background shot here. Buccaneer red, right?
Yep.
One of the very first cars we featured on Cars, Shops, and Collections. What a great sound, huh? Oh my gosh, it sounds great. I think right here, Gene? Yeah, this is perfect. Holy cow, does this thing pop in the sun. Oh my gosh. Episode 1 and episode 83, we break down the 1973 Pontiac Trans Am. I want to point out too, this right here, you talk about some love. That is so cool. The official Cars, Shops, and Collections logo right there. If you want one, drop a comment. We'll get you guys your own sticker. So let's break this down. 1979 Pontiac Trans Am. Walter, what drew you to this car?
I've always had a thing for Firebirds, mostly because Camaros almost are like a dime a dozen. They're everywhere. Firebirds are a little bit more, they're harder to find. And I was lucky enough to find this one in really good condition. Numbers matching.
Is it really?
With the Pontiac 400 4-speed. So with the WS6, W72 package on it.
Well, Ron, I'll bring you in here too, because so this is we're still Gen 2 here, correct? As far
Yes,
as
we are, yeah.
as far as the Firebird?
Up to 81, yeah.
Up to 81. But in 79, we do have some changes on the car. And one of the big changes is with the front end, right?
Right. This is the first year they went to that particular front end on the car.
The headlights more set back in there?
Yeah.
And is this, can I go ahead and press on it?
Oh, yeah.
Is this like a rubber, plastic?
Yeah, kind of, yep, something like that.
And that changes in 1979. That wasn't like that in 78.
Right. They used that through 81.
They did?
Mm-hmm, right.
Come around the side here. This is not to cool. Is this for cooling the engine down or more for air coming out, like an air extractor?
It's an extractor, yeah. It's for downforce on the front end, yeah.
So
it keeps the air from build up into the car and raising at a higher speed, yeah. So, yeah, it's actually an extractor.
We're pulling air out of this thing.
Right.
How rare is the solar gold color?
They've started that in 77 or 78, I think.
Okay.
But the cool thing about this car is this is the last year you could get the Pontiac 400.
Was it
And it
really?
was 4-speed only.
Okay.
So I don't know how many of these, do you know how many of these made, Walter?
That I don't.
Yeah, I'm not sure either, but it's a fairly rare car. But again, the Pontiac 400 was done after that.
That was it. This was
that
the last year.
That was it. And you could only get it with a 4-speed. So it's kind of a rare package.
That 400 was a holdover from 78.
Yeah.
Because now we're talking about the emissions and the gas crunch. We're having to start to cut back on the power.
Yep.
Backside here, this is new in 79, right? The single blacked out tail light.
The tail lamps.
Yep.
And then we have the plate moves down, and here is your gas cap, right?
Correct.
Yeah, this just opens this way, yeah.
1979 would be the 10-year anniversary of the Firebird.
It would be, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it came out in 67, but the first Trans Am was 69.
Okay, so it's 10-year anniversary of the Trans Am.
Right,
Okay,
right.
got it. Okay, so there was that silver edition Trans Am that came out in 1979.
Yes, yes. They called that the 10th anniversary
The 10th.
car. They call it a TATA, 10th
Okay.
anniversary Trans Am, yeah.
The gold one though, this is the color. It's not like a gold edition Trans Am. This is just the color. of the car.
Right,
Okay.
right. Yeah, the gold edition would have had the gold dash and a few other accents that are a little bit different. But yeah, this is actually very nice.
Has it been painted? Or everything we're looking at is all original?
No, it's all original.
Is it?
Yep.
You're gonna keep it that way?
Yep.
Yes.
As far as right now, anyway.
Well, okay. Why don't we? Let's look under the hood, and then I want to sit inside this thing.
Oh, you bet.
It should look pretty good. I know the guy that just rebuilt it.
If we go back to episode 83 and the way it looked, oh my gosh!
That guy did some good work.
Yeah, he did. Ron, where did you learn this skill? I mean, you really are a master at Trans Am. You're a master at working on cars. We saw this. Yeah. This was not here last time.
No, this was empty. There was no engine in it when last time you saw it. Last time it was in that other episode we did. So I actually worked for Pontiac back in 1980, Pat Clark Pontiac. I was their engine guy. So I did nothing but engine repair and engine rebuild for Pontiac for 6 years. And my first car was a 72. I just kind of fell in love with the cars and I just started doing it for a living. So I've got 45 years working on these. So
Pat Clark Pontiac here in Las Vegas. People that live in Las Vegas will recognize that name. That's a legendary.
2575 East Sahara.
Yeah, legendary dealership.
Right across from Cashman Cadillac, yeah.
1979, our competitors are what? The Camaro Z28 and the Corvette. Power-wise, is this, we're above those guys, power-wise, you
They
think?
were probably pretty close. None of them really made a lot of power in 79, but this was probably right up there with the other, maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
As far as cubic inches go, the engine was bigger, displacement-wise, because you only get 350 in the Corvette and the Camaro, right? So.
All right, can I sit inside it?
You betcha.
Well, I'll let you hop in.
It's all right. It's just,
In 1979, there was a show called Dance Fever. Do you remember that show, Dance Fever? It was based in Philadelphia, and it was on for like almost 10 years. So 79 was the first year. The champions on that show in 1979, part of the prize was a 1979 Pontiac Trans Am, the gold one.
That was perfect
That
for
was
the
part,
day,
yeah,
right?
fit the air, right?
Yeah,
That was
right?
huge.
Yeah.
I'm sitting inside this. Oh, wait, this is all original then, huh?
Yep.
Yes.
You kept the original radio?
yes.
That is great.
It's all original in there.
Tilt wheel.
Yep. Back lever.
This back lever tilt.
Yeah.
That's great. Tilt. I feel like we're sitting really low inside the car too.
Yep.
This is, I mean, your interior is in great condition. The original shifter here as well. I don't even see it, Gene, on the shifter right here. I've seen some ones that have been restomodded and rebuilt. The original Pontiac logo right there, still on it. Ron, did you work on this interior at all?
As far as restoring the interior, no, but I did a lot of repairs on it. The door locks didn't work, the windows didn't work. It had some lighting issues. I had to pull a steering column apart and change the turn signal switch, stuff like that. So I did a lot of repairs, but no No restoration cosmetically, yeah.
How was it, Walter, when you got it? The condition and the interior, just the overall condition?
It was pretty much as you see it right now.
Yeah.
With the exception of, like Ron was saying, the windows didn't roll. They were intermittent, going up and down. You know, the AC, you know, there's a leak in that, but everything else is pretty much as you see it right now.
This has the heated rear glass.
Oh, okay. That's big for 79. Yep. And the blacked out trim, that's part of the Trans Am package, right?
Right, yeah.
Can we see in the trunk?
You bet.
And I think he had those wheels restored too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Is the official name of the honeycomb, is that the official name?
Snowflake.
Those are snowflakes, yeah.
Where does the honeycomb come from?
That's what's on my car.
Yours is the honeycomb.
Right,
Okay.
Yep.
And these are snowflake.
Right,
Not much room back here, but
Not much.
but enough, right?
But you see, that's the original spare.
It is. Look at this, you guys. Whoa.
With the inflator, yeah.
So this to save space back here. There's
Right,
not much
yeah,
room in the trunk
right.
of this Trans Am. The original decal up here too?
Yep.
Oh. Let's look at the VIN and then can we go for a ride?
You betcha.
Okay. Ron, help us and Walter break down the VIN of this car. First off, Missouri tag here.
Yeah, it's originally this vehicle was a Jersey car,
Was it really?
and then the gentleman that I bought it from actually picked it up out of Kansas City, Missouri.
With it being a Jersey car, was there any rust issues with it? That northeast, the salt when it snowed? Ugh.
Yeah, that was one of the things we did before I even entertained too much of purchasing. Was put it up on a lift and it's clean.
Yeah, it is, because I was all over it too, and obviously had the engine out, and it's a rust-free car. It's amazing. There's no signs of it after living there.
Yeah. Okay, the VIN. Can you see it, Gene? So 2 is for Pontiac, right?
Yep.
W is for Trans Am.
Yep.
87 for Coupe.
Yep. See, you know.
Hold on. What's next? Is Z? Is that the motor?
Engine code should
Engine
be
code?
the 5th digit. Yep.
The 9 is for 79.
Right.
And then
And then that's just the serial number.
the N is where it was built.
Norwood, Ohio. Yeah.
Not bad. I'm breaking down the VIN code, huh? I'm getting good at this.
Good job.
Episode 1, I was stumped. Here we are. 112 episodes later, I picked something up. Yeah. Let's go for a ride, can we?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Fire it up. Perfect. Got to respect the startup. All right. And it's tight back there.
It is, yeah. The seat is very soft and comfortable, much like Robin's.
Yeah, Ramen had the 81.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it feels like that.
All right. Let's do it.
But my head's against the window.
My seat's all the way back. The fact that you have the original radio, so many people change it out. And I get why they do it. They want Bluetooth or whatever, or a cassette player. But AM, FM stereo from 1979. Man. It says 40,000 miles on it?
That's what it says.
Yeah.
I got some of the original paperwork and everything with the purchase of the car.
Uh-huh.
And when I got it, it was like 37,000 and change.
Okay.
When took it apart and refreshed the engine and everything, I said, yeah, it might be debatable.
Yeah. This is comfortable. Shaker hood, is that functioning or is that just a look on it?
It's just a look.
It's just a look.
Yeah, it's closed off in the rear.
So did you fall in love with the Trans Am with Smokey and the Bandit?
That was an awesome movie.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched it.
It's the anniversary, came out in May of 1977. Second biggest movie of the year, Smokey and the Bandit back in 1977. Pop quiz, who knows what the #1 movie was in 1977?
Oh yeah, because I'm back here. Star Wars.
Gene was just at, where we at, Gene? Star Wars what?
Disney.
At Disney, the Star Wars experience. You can drop some photos in, Gene, if you want to. Let people
Oh,
see
wow.
your experience. This is a head turner too. You know, this is a head turner. I think. Go ahead.
It definitely gets some looks.
Uh huh.
For sure. It's for me, it's like a feel-good car. You know what I mean? You're having a bad day,
Uh huh.
you know, and you just get home and you go for a little drive, and I think it's the fact that everybody else is, you get the thumbs
Yes,
up and
yep.
you get the waves, and you know, so I was like, yeah, okay. So yeah, it's kind of a feel-good car.
So how long have you had the car?
I've had it probably about 5-6 years now.
Do you have a favorite memory inside the car?
Probably, I wouldn't say necessarily a favorite. Just it's just a different feeling driving
Yeah.
something like this, and it just, I don't know, just kind of makes you a little bit nostalgic at times.
It's got to be one of the most recognizable muscle cars out there.
I think so. It's a very popular car, and these are gaining in value now.
Yeah.
So
Well, just the color too, the solar gold. You don't see it too often.
yeah, I think everybody, no matter what color the vehicle is,
Yeah.
they try to turn it into a Bandit Trans Am.
Uh huh.
So then it's, you know, they got to go to black and everything. But no, that was one of the things in talking to Ron with this, is, you know, I mean, I could have gone through and done a lot of engine upgrades and things like that, but I just wanted to keep it original. I like the way it was originally. I'm not out going to the raceway, you know. So all I'm doing is just kind of cruising, going to those weekend meetups and stuff like that, and we're just kind of, you know, enjoying the car.
It is pretty crazy if you think about like Pontiac and, you know, the Trans Am smoking into Bandit.
Yeah.
The car just explodes in sales. And then you got Gen 3, and you get Knight Rider. And then the Gen 3, the sales just explode. You go back to the 70s, late 70s. There's no social media.
Yeah.
I mean, the only way you're gonna get, you know, your car placed in a movie is huge.
Yeah, back then everything was face to face.
Yeah. Well, thank you everyone for watching today's episode of The Blast. Walter, thank you so much for having us. Ron, your expertise and your 1973 Trans Am is always a beauty. And also from episode number 1.
Yep.
Jim. And Jim, yours was which one in episode 1?
The white turbo.
The white
1980 turbo.
The white 1980 Turbo back in episode number 1. Thank you, by the way, for being in episode number 1 too.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
If you want your car, shop, or collection featured on the show, then shoot us an email at carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. That's carshopsandcollections@gmail.com. And thanks for watching, and be sure and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of Cars, Shops, and Collections. You want to get outside? Get back in?
You want to shoot it?